Hey, everybody. We're back here with Senator Bernie Sanders. Now, Senator, let's talk about the control of the Senate right now. It's 50-50 with obviously Kamala Harris casting the deciding vote on things that come to a tie. What's it like when you have a 50-50 split? Every senator's vote is so important. And on the Democratic caucus, you've got the range from Bernie Sanders to Joe Manchin. What's it like to balance all those voices?
It is not easy, and I don't envy Chuck Schumer his job because he has to do the balancing, and he does a good job at it. But at the end of the day, Stephen, I think all of the 50 members of the Democratic caucus understand that we cannot fail, that the problems facing this country are so severe that we are going to have to come together. We can argue it out, and every one of the members, not only Manchin and me, but everybody else, they have different points of view, different priorities. But at the end of the day, there is an understanding that it is absolutely imperative, A, that Biden succeeds, B, that we retain control over the House and the Senate, and we're not going to do that unless we pass significant legislation. So there are a lot of differences, a lot of fighting, but at the end of the day, that is what I think all 50 members understand.
What is the? We had Amy Klobuchar on here the other night, and she talked about. Well, there's still an elephant in the room in the Senate and over in the House too. Of those people like Josh Hawley or Ted Cruz, the people who spread the big lie, who supported this idea, voted against certifying the electoral ballots. How do you talk to those people who do not believe that our present system of government is legitimate?
That is a good question.
Thank you.
And and the answer is it is very hard. I mean, occasionally...
You've worked with Josh Hawley.
I did, in what turned out to be very significant. And one of the first points the president made tonight was the importance of that $1,400 check that went out to 85% of the American people. And Hawley and I did work on that. But I do have to tell you that I find it increasingly difficult to work with people who are literally trying to undermine our democracy through big lies, and their friends back in Texas and in Georgia and all over this country are trying to deny people the right to vote. You know, we can have our differences of opinion, but it is just outrageous and unacceptable for people to be undermining democracy and trying to deny people the right to vote.
Now, you started a new job since last we spoke. You're the chairman of the Budget Committee, and that was the most terrifying thing that the senators across the aisle could imagine. How is their nightmare playing out?
Well, I think from their perspective, it is a nightmare. We passed in the American Rescue Plan what I think is one of the most consequential pieces of legislation for working families that this country has seen in a very long time. We're right now going to go after some of their billionaire friends and demand that they start paying their fair share of taxes. These are guys who deny, in many cases, the reality of climate change. We're going to invest tens of billions of dollars in transforming our energy system and taking on the fossil fuel companies. So I think their nightmare is turning into a painful reality for them. On the other hand, what I would say is that for grassroots Republicans all across this country, you know, I'm not going to say that there's overwhelming support for our agenda, but among lower income, working class Republicans, there is strong support for our agenda.
Now, you are, as you know, you're very popular with the youths out there. Even though you've been at this for a long time, you are crowned with many winters, sir. Here you are 40 years ago, winning your first election. This is for mayor of, is it Burlington?
Yep.
By 10
Burlington,
votes.
Vermont.
By 10 votes. How, after all these years, after 40 years of doing this, how do you stay positive? Do you have a mantra that keeps you going?
I tell you that, to be honest with you, it has a lot to do with the inspiration that I get from people, especially young people. You know, when you run for president, you see, you know, zillions of people all across this country. And what I got to say, Stephen, in the midst of all of the pessimism and the gloominess, my God, there is an enormous amount of beauty. I mean, idealism. I mean, I've been to speeches where you had black kids and white kids and Latino communities, Native American kids. Kids are dreaming about an America that is a very different America than the one we have today, that works for all, where people are cooperating and not where somebody is trying to divide us up. That inspires me very much. So I want to thank the younger generation.
You hear that, younger generation? Bernie thanks you. Thank you so much for being here, Senator Sanders. Senator Bernie Sanders, everybody. We'll be right back with Meanwhile. Stick around. Thank you, Senator.